Hello everyone, today is a speed paint with a voiceover of me doing Queen's backstory. Queen used to be an Icewing named Princess Aurora Borealis who lived around 4672 AS. She was enchanted by an Icewing animus to become a random rainwing dragonet on her 10th hatching day, who was ready to hatch on the same day. Aurora was terrified for her 10th hatching day. She loved her life as Icewing royalty, and more so, she despised rainwings. Later when her 10th hatching day was over, she fell asleep as Aurora Borealis. When she woke up, she was encased in a warm shell, enclosed tight around her body. She missed the comfort of her egg when she was young. She thought this was all a dream, yet it wasn't, and she hatched out of the egg to see a happy Nightwing Icewing hybrid and a happy Rainwing staring down at her. The first things she heard her parents say were, "Hello, Queen. Welcome to Peria, little one." Queen, was this her name? Rainwings had an odd way of naming their children, Queen thought. She adopted the name to a T. Although her real name was Stargazer, she never really found out until later in her life. Queen was bossy, sassy, and very demanding, cared about her looks, etc. Very much like a queen. At least for her earlier years of her life. She heard her parents say Stargazer before, but they said Queen more when calling her, so she figured Stargazer was a nickname, a weird one at that. Her younger years were relatively normal until about 3 years old. Her parents got a divorce and her father won custody over her. They moved to the Kingdom of Night. It was around the time when Queen's animus powers and bipolar disorder started becoming apparent. Her parents also realized that Queen couldn't or wouldn't change her scale colors, and how she wouldn't or couldn't spit venom during venom aiming class. They also noticed how she seemed to answer questions they were thinking but have yet to ask, making them think she could read minds. The only ones who knew about her animus powers were her mother and her father. Her father forced her to use her animus magic. A little before and even still after the divorce, her father was very toxic and abusive. She stayed with her father as told to do, and this took a toll on her mental and physical health. She got more depressed and was malnourished. She finally, after a month of making stuff for her father with her animus magic, she made a talisman. This way, whatever she made wouldn't take from her soul. She hid the talisman with her at all times. She even took it with her when she ran away when she was about 4. Her father rather hated her, so she was happy she left. He was only mad he didn't have her power to drive her mad. Her school friends, on the other hand, looked for her for around a week before ultimately giving up. Queen traveled all through the Sky Kingdom without realizing where she was, as she never left the rainforest other than to go to the Night Kingdom. And even then, she never left the Night Kingdom. She wasn't allowed to. She was caught when she was noisily rummaging to try and find fruits. She tried to put up a fight but couldn't win because of her lack of venom and shifting scales. Her talisman was taken away from her and she was chained to the walls of the throne room. She would thrash for hours daily and rarely listen to the guards. She was able to escape after months of torture, pleasing the Queen, battling for life, and she was blinded in one of her eyes by the Skywing Queen's guards because she was refusing to go to the arena. She also got many permanent memories and scars from that arena. She luckily found her talisman on the way out. She flew to the Sand Kingdom. There she was greeted fairly kindly by the Sandwing Queen. She stayed in Possibility for a while. She decided she was going to fly back to her original home to find her mom. So she set off across the desert. Halfway through the trip, she got attacked by a gang of sandwings. She wasn't stung, but she was severely injured and left for dead. Her wing was shredded and her nearly torn off her body. She had brain damage. She nearly died before some sandwings came across her and turned her into the royal healer. She got mostly better, and she had to amputate her back right leg, and her wing was unfixable. It scarred over mostly, leaving tears in it, but there was no more blood. She had to travel the rest of the way by Talon. She decided to use her talisman to get her there. She enchanted the sand to lift her up and bring her to the Rainforest Kingdom. There she saw her mother. Her mother was extremely worried about her and asked what happened. Months later, her mother fell terribly sick and died. By the time she was 7, she had already traveled to almost every kingdom and found a mate. It was at first hard for her to trust him. She was able to work out some of her problems with his help, but she suffered from lifelong trauma, half-blindness, and many scars. She lives fairly happily with her sea-wing partner, Cyclone, her 2 lovely dragonettes, Palm and Coconut. She learned to endure her scars, so she never healed them with her powers. Queen also learned basic medicine and some complex medicine to treat her children if they were ever hurt or sick. She lives a calm, relaxed, mostly happy life with her family on an island on the outskirts of the Kingdom of the Sea. To this day, she has had a few episodes due to her disorder, but other than that, she teaches her kids how to use their venom and camouflage scales. Palm got the animus gift from his mother and is very careful with it. About 10 years from this point, she dies protecting her family from an invasion of her den during a war. She gave her talisman to Cyclone and fought the dragons off as her family escaped. She didn't die on scene. She died 2 days later with her family by her side after they came back. She died due to her injuries while sleeping in her bed. I hope you enjoyed Queen's backstory, and I also hope you enjoyed the speed paint. Tell me what you think of her backstory, and if you have any problems with it or anything I should change about it. And yeah, that's basically all. Like, subscribe, and have a wonderful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this.